Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where our mission is to provide education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. USA Global TV and Radio connects you with experts and audiences all around the world every single day to help you succeed in business and to live a richer life. Visit us at usaglobaltv.com to learn about career and life-changing training and mentoring programs like the Listening Mentor. Subscribe to our newsletter to stay informed about our special programs and offers. Discover how you can become a guest on one of our shows or a host or producer of a USA Global TV and Radio show of your very own. That's USA Global TV and Radio, where the doctor is always in.
And welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is USA Global TV and Radio, and I am Dr. Jacalyn KERBECK. Our show today is Secrets to Timeless Beauty, and our subject is how connected are we to our sexuality? Joining me is the star of our show. She is traveling. Let's find out where in the world Katrina Valente is today. Welcome. Hello.
Hi, good evening. Well, I'm still in the Maldives and it's 9 p.m. tonight.
You know, it's so interesting to me. I said this to you via text message that you're getting up, I'm going to sleep, I'm going to sleep, you're getting up. It's amazing how we can coordinate the times to do this show. So
I know.
Tell us what you're doing there for people who are just joining us for the first time.
So I'm here as a visiting expert to Amila Fushi, which is a very high-end resort, and I'm in the spa offering my treatments, which are facials, healing massages, lymphatic drainage, and different healing modalities.
And tell us, from the glow in your face, you look absolutely radiant. What are some of the treatments maybe that you've been getting that help give you that beautiful, youthful look?
Well, actually last night I did a microneedling on myself. So it's a needle roller and I numb my face and then I use the roller and it opens up all the channels in your skin. And then you use a serum that's gonna benefit you. I used a collagen serum and then I finished with a collagen mask. So it's super hydrating, super firming, super glowing, and these are my results.
Katrina, you look gorgeous. Why have you on Spotlight? You mentioned micro needling. Is there a needle involved? I didn't hear anything about that.
Yeah, there is. It's a needle roller. It's just over there. I could go and get it if you like. It's a little roller and it's got tiny needles in it and it just opens up all the pores in your skin and it stimulates your own collagen and elastin to allow product to penetrate to the deeper layers.
I would love if you would go get it. Let us see what it looks like.
Okay, give me.
And to our audience, if you're interested in any of the treatments, Katrina will be giving you information about how you can contact her and also how you can get into the resort there where she is right now. So I know for myself, I'd like to hear about any of the latest and greatest techniques that we can get that youthful glow that Katrina always seems to have on her beautiful face.
Hi, so here it is. So it's a roller and it's got tiny little needles in it. You can't really, you can maybe see them a little bit.
Now, did that hurt your finger when you did that?
No, I mean, they're super tiny, but obviously you want to go quite deep. So it's better if you don't have to numb your face. There's a lot of train of thought now that say it's not good to numb your face, but I still like to numb because then you really get the plumpness and it pulls out all the fine lines and wrinkles. And even in the morning, my face was a little bit sore, but it's a regenerative process that goes on for about another week after you've done the treatment.
So was there any blood there?
No, not this time, but I have done it that where it's bloodied the skin. Some doctors say it's better, other doctors say it's not. So there's two polarizing trains of thought about it, you know. But I've done both. I find them both um, very beneficial. It just depends what the individual wants. But when you're numb, you don't feel anything, so it looks a lot worse than it actually is.
Wow, that's so interesting. I'd love to hear about new techniques that we can do ourselves. Now, do you have to be an expert like you are? You've been doing treatments on
No,
other
no. I
people
mean,
now.
this is a home. This is actually a home microneedling, but it's very important to get a quality one because you've got to get the needles. Excuse me. Of a certain quality, otherwise it can really tear your skin microscopically. So you have to get a medical grade microneedling device.
Now, would it make sense to try this on a different part of your body instead of going right for the face?
Yeah, yeah, but there's no damage can ever be done by it because all it's doing is traumatizing the outer layer in order to heal. That's actually what it does. But in turn, it stimulates your own collagen and elastin. So it's one of the most natural ways to give yourself an anti-aging treatment that really does work. I mean, you're better to do, if you're starting out, I mean, obviously I take care of my skin all the time, but if you're starting out, you should do one a week for 6 weeks.
Okay, I'm taking it all in. So, with our topic today, we're talking about connecting to our sexuality, and I feel that the results that we have by being aware of our sexuality can also show up on our face, on our skin, correct?
Yeah, I mean, I'm this year I'm going to be studying sex therapy and you know how important it is to have an orgasm. Can I say that? And it's about having quality gourmet sex, not just, you know, any old. You need to be with a partner that loves you. You need to, and it's where you find real intimacy. And when you connect to real intimacy, you can really expand that through all areas of your life: abundance, money, opportunities, you know, excel in your career. Because, you know, sex energy is life force energy. It's been given to us abundantly as humans.
So, what do you suggest is the first step for us to even understand how connected we are with our sexuality?
You know, it all starts with how much do you love yourself? You know, what is your relationship like? Do you self pleasure? You know, it all starts from the basics. How well do you know your body? You know, the more I talk to people and the more I talk to men in particular, I realize they know very little about what really true deep connection is all about. It's scary, actually.
Now, when you're saying that, do you mean the connection they have with themselves or the connection with others in a relationship?
Yeah, with others in a relationship and to themselves. You know, men, it's all about a run to get to that end result of the orgasm, but what about everything in between? Because that's where the real pleasure is. You know, the orgasm is an end result. It's finished, it's over. And so many men are just in a race to get there, where, you know, I mean, I'm working with a sex therapist, and she's saying that you should have a minimal 2 hour sex session minimum at any given time. How many people do that?
Is the 2 hours spread over a week, or is that in one day?
That's in one day, darling. That's in one, 2 hours is 2 hours together.
I know, I'm just teasing.
I
So, a
know.
question I have for you about sexuality. What about, I was just reading there's a whole group of people, an initiative to celebrate celibacy, where people are not having sex. So, isn't it possible to be connected to our sexuality without having sex?
Yeah, because then you self-pleasure. It's the same thing. If you can self-pleasure, then it still brings in the same energy. But to not self-pleasure and not, no, that's not good. That's not really a good thing.
Now, here's the thing, I'm going to take a different perspective. So, what if a person just isn't interested in sex? What if a person is interested in an intimate relationship with someone, and maybe they're not interested in the physical part, and they're not interested in doing it themselves either? What about that?
Well, it means they're not connected to themselves, because everybody is capable and should be capable, because sex is one of the highest forms of enlightenment a human being can experience. So there's so many people that are not interested. I mean, me being one of them for many years, but it's because I was not connected to myself. And I understand that now. And I'm devastated at all the years I've lost, in this celibate state. I mean, it's shocking, really. Sorry, I'm just getting.
Tell us about what have you learned about that you're now sharing with us, that you were celibate, you were happy with it, but now you've done some research, you're doing some more learning, and what have
No,
you found out?
I was never happy with it. It was just a it's just because I could never meet anyone. So it wasn't that I was happy with it. It was just, I don't know, you know how the days go by, the weeks go by, the months go by, and it's not until you stop and think about it. And it's because you're just not connected. I was not connected to myself at all on that level. And that's why I've always found it very hard to create abundance, to create relationship, because I wasn't honoring the relationship with myself.
Okay, so for people who are watching or listening and they're hearing what you have to say, are you saying that for you, this is what you found out? Is it possible that for other people, being connected to their sexuality might mean they're connected to their creativity, or they're connected to other people in a non-sexual but still intimate way?
Uh, no, because to truly be in abundance, you need to be truly connected to your sexuality. It's what I've learned, and it makes total sense. I never understood why people would always say money and relationship go together. If you don't have one, you won't have the other. And I never really understood that until now. And I'm just stepping on the path, and I'm on the yoni egg course at the moment, which is working with a yoni egg, and it helps to strengthen the vajayjay inner walls. And then, women that suffer from dryness and all of that, nobody needs to suffer from any of that if you are properly sexually in tune with yourself.
Okay, so let's explore this a little bit further. You were saying that money and sex go together. So people who have a lot of money are having a lot of sex, and people who don't have money are not having sex. Is that what you're saying?
Well, no, but like, you usually find people that are not having good sex, or not having fulfilling sex, or not having sex at all, are actually either not in a relationship or not in a good relationship. Because when you're having good sex, it's euphoric. So, you know, when you're fully sexually satisfied, you're vibrating at a different level. Therefore, automatically, you can attract things into your life on a much greater level. Abundance, happiness, joy, career opportunities, excuse me, like-minded people. It happens as a side effect of feeling that way.
So let's just look at I'm really giving you the opposite perspective just because it's a TV show, so why not? So what if people are having great mind-blowing sex in a dysfunctional relationship?
Oh, that's a good question.
Because
But
sex is based on chemistry and people have this animalistic quality to them, and the chemistry draws people together so they can have great sex in a relationship that just doesn't work.
yeah, but there's great sex and there's gourmet sex. There's a difference. Gourmet sex comes with intimacy. You can have great sex, but it's on a very superficial level. So it's because to have proper mind-blowing sex, you have to be in an intimate relationship with your partner, with somebody special in your life. It cannot work otherwise.
Okay, so two people find each other. They've got this high level of intimacy and they're having this great sex. So, are they now connected to their sexuality? And if so, how long does it last? Does it last only as long as the great sex lasts?
No, it lasts. I mean, it's a process. So, you know, I've watched a ton of videos and couples that have done the courses. And, you know, there was a couple on the verge of divorce, and then they found each other on a sexual level. And they are now like lovesick teenagers and they couldn't be closer. And they've been together 15 years. And so you have to make time for it. You have to commit to the practice. I mean, it doesn't just, you know, drop into your lap. There has to be work done, like anything in life, you know, to get the results that you want.
I would agree with you. I think just from an alternative perspective, I know plenty of people who don't have sex because they're not in a relationship or they're in a relationship that they've made a decision that as they've gotten older, they just don't feel like doing it anymore. But yet they have a very good life and a high quality functioning relationship. So I don't know. I mean, I understand that this is the research that you've been able to gather, and this is a perspective that you have. I'm just thinking that there are other things that can really make a person feel connected to their sexuality without actually having sex. And you're saying
There
no,
isn't.
there's
There,
not.
there
Okay.
really isn't. There really is not. Because once you experience that level of intimacy and euphoria, you know, most of us do not know our potential sexually. I mean, did you know that there's cervical orgasms, there's G-spot orgasms, you know, clitoral orgasms are just nothing. They're just the superficial ones. But so for a man to give a woman that, she has to surrender to him and to trust him and to feel, you know, some sort of connection to him in order to allow herself to go there. And, you know, it's not about age. You know, the girl that I'm studying with, she's got women in their 70s that are like teenagers again. You know, they're flowing, fully, you know, juiced up, no problem at all, on a daily basis, not just when she feels like having sex. Her vagina is totally flowing and you know, fluid 24/7
So
because
how do you get anything done if you're constantly in your flow, for example?
well, Well, because that's where the creativity comes. This is where all your creative juices start flowing. Because remember, sexual energy is life force energy. It's how we were created, right? If you look at it from the baseline, it's how we were created as humans. So it's a given, but it's just, we are so suppressed, we are so shamed into talking about it, and shamed as a woman. And, you know, good girls shouldn't be doing this and good girls shouldn't be doing that. So there's a whole culture around the shame of it that we don't explore it, we don't talk about it, we don't fully indulge in the pleasure that was given to us by God.
So, Katrina, what was the main purpose of why you started doing this research and taking this course?
For the last few years, I've been working a lot with relationships, and in my healing and clearing modalities, people always want to talk about relationship. And then when I work with couples or even married people, the main thing that comes up is their sex life, and they're not having great sex, or they're not having sex at all. And then I was watching on Netflix Gwyneth Paltrow's show Goop, and she's got a series on sex and love. And on that series, there was 3 sex therapists. And it was watching that series that the light went on, and I just thought to myself, oh my God, this is what I want to do. I want to be a sex therapist. Because I'm quite bold, and I'll tell it like it is. I'm very blunt in my delivery with people. And so I don't have a problem talking about it. And then I met this sex therapist in the Maldives last October, who is a multi-millionaire. She's got tons of videos online, and I started binge watching her stuff, and I thought, this is my mentor, this is who I'm going to study with. And so I started my first course a few weeks ago.
So your goal is to become a certified sex therapist, is that correct? Katrina, did you hear me?
Sorry,
so your
your
goal is to become a certified sex therapist.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
That's what I want to work towards. But, you know, obviously I have to sort my own self out first, because you have to experience everything that you're going to talk about firsthand. I mean, I've always been like that through my career with everything that I've practiced. I've tried it first before I give it to my clients. So I'll be the same with this. But I think I would really like to specialize with men, because men really do not know how to satisfy a woman. Most men really don't know. I mean, did you know that the vagina and the penis have all reflexology points, all inside of the woman, and all the male penis all has reflexology points. So when they come together, it's in perfect harmony. And this is why euphoria can be experienced in that scenario. You know, I mean, if you start talking to people, you realize not many people understand. There's just so much to it. And it's something that we take for granted, and it's one-dimensional, but it's actually not. It's 2 souls coming together to create the highest form of love possible on the planet.
So basically, it's getting the knowledge that you need to understand your own body as well as your partner's, and then taking that knowledge and putting it into action, so to speak.
Yeah.
So in your quest to get as much knowledge as possible and then to help other people, are you planning on taking on what you're learning and exploring with yourself to someone else? Are you going to be seeking a partner before you actually are going to be practicing as a sex therapist, so that you can practice it with someone else?
Yeah. I mean, It's going to be about at least a year's journey for me. You know, I've been studying Tantra a bit, and you know, I need to do the physical courses. I need to practice on men, the tantric massage, where you're massaging the whole body, including the genitals. But it's a healing modality through sexual contact, but it's healing your sexual trauma, which we all have. So when you talk to men about this, they just think, oh, ha ha ha, this is a way to get off, you know, but it's not. It's not at all. And a lot of men that experience it, they end up crying. They end up having huge healing experiences through this modality, because it opens you up in a way that you've never experienced before. And it gives you, I mean, you can have full body orgasms, because the idea is to massage the whole body but not allow them to orgasm. So you build the energy and it becomes super intense to an experience that most people have never had before. And it's euphoric, it's godly like, you know. I mean, I have experienced it myself, and it's next level, and it is a healing. I mean, for about 3 days after it, I was just completely done in, like I'd had any other kind of healing that had really affected me. So, you know, it's education. People need to understand that it's not just this quick fix of getting off in a different way. It's truly a very deep healing that people experience.
Thanks so much for sharing that. So if people have trauma that they've experienced, but they haven't addressed it or hasn't been released, this type of massage will help them do that. But are they then aware of what it was that was blocking them to begin with?
Yeah, I mean, it's like any healing modality, Dr. Jacalyn. When you're having the healing experience, things come up to be released. So you'll maybe remember a trauma that you'd forgotten about, or you'll remember an experience that you were shameful about. And, you know, one of my friends who is now a tantric teacher, she had cancer of the cervix, I think it was. And sex for her was very, very painful. She had a real problem, and she's been in a long-term relationship. And after doing this course, she is now free to enjoy sex to the fullest because she cleared her blocks. You know, cervical orgasms are at the top of the vagina. So these are the more painful ones, but these are heart opening. So when a woman can have a cervical orgasm, it's heart opening. And I don't think I've ever experienced that actually. But they say it's just the most euphoric feeling in the world, and you're like flying high for days after it. And then women can also ejaculate. That's the G-spot orgasm, which is 2 inches into the vagina, apparently. I've never experienced that either. And so this is being in your true goddess energy, and just, you know, allowing yourself to completely let go, completely be worshipped like the queen that you are, and to be able to trust your partner and that he's going to hold you in that space for as long as you need to be there. This is another thing with men. They premature ejaculate all the time, and a lot of men can only go 1 round. But what this teaches men to do is to hold their orgasm so they can have an orgasm but not ejaculate, which helps them to stay hard for hours on end. You know, so it's some really deep, juicy stuff that you're learning here, and that can be beneficial for every single person. There's no person that can't experience the ultimate in sexual pleasure. It's about wanting to do it, finding the right person to do it with, and doing the practice. That's all it is. It's like any else in life.
So a question I have for you is, you were just mentioning that you've been celibate for a long time and you've been fairly happy, haven't you?
Fairly, but it's been something that's really been missing in my life for sure. And I've never discredited that. I knew it was there, but I also was in fear of trying to change that. Because it's all about your own insecurity. It boils down to two things in life: self-worth and not feeling good enough. And so it's all subconscious programming that we all have. But now this year, I'm definitely ready to do something about it, because I need to practice these techniques with a partner. I don't want to just pull up any random guy. It doesn't work like that. You have to be with someone that you trust, you know?
Yes, I'm listening to what you're saying. It's very interesting. It's from a different perspective than the one that I have. So I always like to learn and grow. I'm just wondering, for people, I've been alone for a long time and I don't miss it and I don't care. I don't think about it. It's not something that I'm looking for. I've had great sex. I've had great relationships. I've had horrible relationships, but I'm on a different path now. And that path is very time consuming with what I'm doing, but I love what I'm doing. So I'm just wondering, when you're speaking about this in general, that it's something that we all need. I don't know that I agree with that. What do you think of that?
Ah, oh, how can I say this to you without sounding? You keep yourself so busy because that's what you think you want, but it's actually not.
I don't agree, because I'm not keeping myself busy. I'm doing what needs to be done to grow my businesses, and I love what I'm doing. So if I were to stop what I was doing to go and look for a partner and spend that time with the partner, we wouldn't be on the air right now. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I think people we make ourselves busy in life. We're addicted to something. We're addicted to smoking, to the gym, to alcohol, to food, because we're running away from our pain and suffering on some level or another. So when we are always busy in our lives and we make no time for fun and play and joy, it's because if we stop and have nothing to do, then we have to look at ourselves. And that's what most of us don't want to do.
I think that's an accurate statement. I have to say, for myself, I've done a lot of work on myself, had a lot of therapy, and I've had a lot of time by myself alone to reflect, and I just have a different perspective because I've had that in my life, and at this point right now, it's not important to me. And I don't it's not because I don't want to make time for it. I just have no interest. I did that, I had that, and now I'm doing this and I love this. So I'm just speaking for myself. I don't know about other people, but I think maybe as our life goes, ebbs and flows, we go in and out of different things. Maybe what you're speaking about is something that we should all have in our lives at some point. Is that possible?
I mean, okay, so yeah, I agree that we do have ebbs and flows, and there are times when we have to be on our own and we have to focus on our work and do different things. But I think ultimately, when you forget about all of that, we humans came here to love and be loved. The end. The end. And I really believe that, Dr. Jacalyn. We as humans, we need to be loved by another person, and to have an intimate relationship is the pinnacle of all things. Yes, you can be loved by your family, your children, your mother, your father, but to have an intimate partner is just a different thing. And I think we all need that on one level or another.
Yeah, I definitely would agree with that. I just I feel like in order to grow as a person, we need to have time on our own because, there are people who go from relationship to
I agree with
relationship.
that. I agree with that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I do agree with that. I think you've got to work through your own stuff. And I know women that have never been without a partner. That's not good either. I think you've first got to be happy in your own company before you can attract the right person in. So yes, I do agree with that.
I think that when you do the work on yourself and you know who you are, you know what satisfies you, what makes you feel good, and you're at a point in your life where you are willing to commit time to someone else, then absolutely that is the ultimate, to have that level of intimacy with another person and come together. My point is that I just don't think it's, at least for me, I can't speak for other people, I don't think it's realistic to be able to have that throughout your entire life, because things happen and we then need to step back and do the work on ourselves so that we can move forward.
Yeah, I don't believe in happily ever after. I believe people are together to learn the lessons they need to learn, and then they move on to the next person. I think people that stay together forever and they're happy, it's because they've grown together. I have a cousin like that. She's in her late 60s and she got married to her husband when she was 30, and they've got two grown kids, and they are still like lovesick teenagers, and they love and adore each other, and it's the most beautiful thing. But it's very rare to see that, you know.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I appreciate you sharing it. I think part of what I'm also getting at is that in some cases people make searching for love their priority. They're on the lookout for somebody all the time. And that in and of itself could be time they could be using on themselves to better themselves, to learn and
Yeah.
grow, and then attract someone from the universe naturally, as opposed to making it their full-time job.
No, I agree. There's no one else will ever make you happy. You have to find happiness and peace within yourself, and then you'll attract the right person. Excuse me.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, this has been a fascinating show as always, and I'm so glad that you're doing so well and that you're on this new course, because course literally both ways, because you mentioned in one of our other shows that you wanted to experience something else. You wanted to find a new path for yourself, and it sounds like that's exactly what you're doing.
Yeah, I think so. Let's see. I'll keep you posted.
Well, it certainly looks good on you, so keep it up. So for people who want to get in contact with you, they'd like to work with you, what are some of the services that you offer, and how can people work with you?
So I am in Dubai some of the time. I will be in Dubai some of March, and then from May till October, I'll be staying in Dubai, hopefully, get some groundedness. So there I do the physical treatments. I do the massages, the raindrop massage, lymphatic drainage. I'll be doing the healing modalities and facials for whoever still wants them. I'm slowly phasing these out, as uh, 28 years, I think, is long enough. You have to move on to other things. And then my online work will still be the clearing and the energy work and the coaching. And you can
And how do
find
people
me
get in touch
on
with you?
my website is katrinavalente.com. I'm on Instagram every day under Katrina Valente and the number 1, and Facebook also just my name.
Well, thank you so much. I wish you a beautiful night of sleep and rest, and look forward to seeing you again for our next show.
Thank you, Dr. Jacalyn. Have a great day, and find a cocktail bar to go to tonight. You look fabulous.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you soon, my friend. Bye for now.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Bye. And thank you to you who are watching, who are listening, whether it's on the live or the replay. If you would like to share with us how connected you are to your sexuality, you can always reach out to Katrina, or you can contact us at usaglobaltv.com. Contact us. We have phenomenal shows coming up the rest of the day, so I hope you'll stay with us. We have a show called Talking Peace Around the World, where we are actually going to be featuring two people who are in a darkened Lebanese parliament house, and they have been doing a sit-in for 30 days. So we're going to be speaking with them about why they've been doing this and what they hope will be a result of it. We will then also have our Hot Topic show, where we will feature Daisy Gideon, who is an international award-winning journalist and filmmaker. She will be on the Talking Peace show as well. And after that, we will have our women's show, A Woman's Prerogative. So we have some amazing content coming up for you for the rest of the day. We'll be off for the next hour and 15 minutes. So do join us again. Go over to our YouTube channel, which is USA Global TV, and please subscribe. We have between 25 and 30 shows that are live every week, and we'd love to have you join us for as many as you possibly can. Our mission is to provide education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. Thank you again for supporting us. And if you'd like to be a guest, you can go over to our website, which is usaglobaltv.com. Just go to book your session and scroll down the page. You can see the shows that we offer there and go ahead and book in. Thank you again. As I mentioned, we'll be back shortly. Bye for now.